let me just share my screen again, and then Henry can just cover what your expertise is. So here, you've written here, future-proofing people, business. These are master tools by you. So is there anything you want to add here for the 4 things, the CHRO 4 futurists, work from home, perspectives, and culture change? Anything you want to add?
I think these 4 areas are already quite a handful, and because it is not, how should I say, something that can be very direct and very straightforward. It needs a lot of contemplation, a lot of reflection and understanding to approach this correctly, because any wrong move can have very serious repercussion. And at this point in time, business owners may not be too forgiving on mistakes, especially from their HR and their decision and their policies, their implementation can affect the people confidence in terms of their leadership in organization, right? So.
Yeah, so if you need to, because Dr. Henry is the best in the industry, in not just Hong Kong, in Asia, in the world. So you want him to give you his expertise. He has helped many companies turn around in HR terms. So this is the new 4.0 to future-proof your business in terms of HR. So thank you, Henry. Henry, I think a lot of questions to Henry. I only allow
okay, can I share screen for my question?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've combined these 2 questions from Lou and Julian because in a way it is kind of related, right? So I guess everyone understands what is micromanagement or micromanager. So I think that does not require any further elaboration. But when we talk about micro-monitoring, it's basically the leader manager ability or their capability to create and use the right tools to enable employees to manage themselves and also to monitor or track their own performance. By doing so, it will actually help to enhance or increase the responsibility to decrease being supervised or being micromanaged. And what is important is their ability to set very clear specific goals in terms of how to engage employees in their own development. And of course, in the process, you need to be able to manage to expectation. So when we talk about micro-monitoring, essentially is basically telling your team members, right, how to get things done. I mean, and you don't basically let them or instruct them to do the way that you would likely be doing, but more importantly is you tell what, right? And it's important in the micro monitoring to be able to follow up very closely. So it is important for the leader manager to still be cognizant that it is his or her team responsibility to deliver, and that is where the productivity ownership must rest on your team and not on yourself as the leader manager. So at end of day, I think very effective communication from the leader manager to the team members is actually very important. And the emphasis is, of course, the team is responsible to be to account for the success of the project, right? And borrowing from Coco Wong quote, right? The leader manager in the micro monitoring framework must be able to know how to take the pain away, and by providing very effective feedback, help to remove obstacles and keep your teams focused on the essential and the right stuff. So, and this is where being equipped with high EQ and CQ skills is important, you know, to understand what are your employees' core fears, what kind of struggle are they facing. Is there something that their leader, manager, or their bosses can do, right? So, and some of these things would be, you know, give your employees the space to postpone discussion if they are feeling very stressed, and do not get offended if they kind of ignore you. Not out of disrespect, but it's because they may have something much more on their mind to address or to attend to matters, and this is the best time to really be understanding and empathetic towards your employees. End of day, the constant need to motivate your employees is actually very critical towards their productivity and success, by empowering them, you know, by giving them the ability to make decisions and to take accountability for their decision that they have made. Feedback and accessibility is very, very important. You cannot just delegate and then after that you abdicate and let your team take all the responsibilities, right? And of course, they have to find meaningful ways to reward. So I guess sending ice cream is one way to get your message across, right? So I hope this quick insights into the two questions is helpful to enhance and broaden your precision and understanding of micro monitoring and ensuring productivity is still on track, right? So thanks, Robert. Okay, so this was the question from Angeline, and according to Angeline, she has spoken to some organizational leaders on their strategies in ensuring better mental and emotional well-being. And the answers are not great, you know, so their responses to the staff is, you know, if you are not feeling well, go and see the doctor. And if you cannot handle, then too bad, then they choose to resign. So her question was, how would you influence or to set further emphasis in this area, right? So, but first off, right, it's actually good to understand when this happens, right, what are the consequences or potential consequences when your staff are emotionally stressed? So definitely the workplace today must have the avenue or the channel for your employees to actually talk quite freely about. Because especially what I notice in the Asian context, employees or people in general can talk pretty comfortably. I mean, can pretty talk comfortably about their health issues, right? Like for example, if they are hypertensive or they have high cholesterol and so on and so forth. But when it comes to mental health, it's still a subject that is probably taboo or a topic that is not comfortable to actually speak openly about. So the workplace needs to be much more friendly, much more conducive to make your employees talk about it. And if you look at this, mental health issue is just not only confined to Malaysia, you know, as a developing country. You look at some of the advanced countries here, you find that they too are also suffering from high levels of mental stress among their people. And if this is not handled well, right, what we as an employer, right, could be vicariously responsible to driving our people into a high state of depression, and hopefully, right, this won't happen. You know, you can make them to feel suicidal, right, because they feel so hopeless. They feel that they are being pushed to a corner and so on and so forth. So we need to be careful and to be emotionally intelligent, especially at the leadership level, in handling employee concerns about their psychological as well as their emotional health. So of course, you know, the leadership need to be educated, you know, the business owners, the C-suite, you know, the senior management, that when people start to leave you, right, not for any other reason, but other than feel that they're depressed, you know, they can't handle the workload, you know, or whatever, right? It's actually costly to your bottom line. As HR leaders, as HR practitioners, I think you are very well aware that when employees leave you, and you have to rehire, right, the replacement, right, it costs you quite a fair bit. And your rehiring, right, 67% of your cost of rehiring is actually due to soft costs, which often are not tangible and not quantified or not measurable. And apart from that, you know, it's going to impact your customers, you know, going to impact your morale, your productivity, and so on and so forth. So these are actually real costs, but sadly, often than not, these are not really highlighted or made known to the business owners, to the leadership, and says, hey, it's just not a staff walking out of a door, right? There are repercussions, there are consequences, and as more and more of your people, especially your key talents, start leaving you, right? So when you start to add up, it can actually be very costly. So in view of time, what are some of the things that leaders, you know, can actually contemplate or reflect or do something about it? Is one is, of course, you, especially in this very fluid, very dynamic kind of situation, balancing the workload of employees is actually one of the ways that you can help to minimize their emotional stress, and also their to give them that they are in control, right? And not that the situation is in control of them, right? So helping them to balance their workload, I guess will give them space, as well as sufficient rest for them to recover, right? The second thing that possibly can be done is to educate your leadership, right? Because if they are uh, too ignorant, all right, or discount problems from employees as minimal or as trivial, right, then that could be real problem later on, right? So help to create a clear leadership structure so everyone knows to whom they're reporting, and then this will definitely improve work efficiency and so on, right? More importantly, I guess, is to set clear job expectations, so the outcome will be better reflected and known to everyone. The third thing is probably in times of crisis, we are likely to see more conflicts arising in the workplace. So conflict management, conflict resolution probably need to be enhanced, and make sure that your managers or your people leaders are ably equipped to handle conflict management and conflict resolution, and not to try to sweep everything under the carpet, or was still just ignoring or avoiding the conflict resolution that arise in your workplace. And the last, but the not exhaustive, right? Is not the least, is to see how you can actually create an employee-friendly environment, right? Is by taking time to engage with employees, to check in, as what Rich was saying. You know, we must know how to recognize that different gender, right, of our workforce behave differently or react differently, right? So our ability to distinguish and to differentiate and help to customize our communication is also very important. I think Coco is also sharing, you know, we need to be different, right? To see how can we actually help to take the pain away from our people, and not to continue to do things the usual way, but to to be different, right? So treating your staff to ice cream probably can be one way to help make things a little bit more palatable, right? So I hope this thoughts of mine would be helpful, right? To